I feel like there's a scum and villainy joke I should be making here, but I'm not sure what that is. But we do have the new Star Wars Legion Shadow Collective boxes. Check these out. Alright, folks, we've got Star Wars Legion Shadow Collective. We've got the miniature Mandalorians here, the Mandalorian Super Commandos, and then also the Swoop Bike Riders unit expansion. All this fun stuff is for Star Wars Legion. I have no idea what to expect from these boxes, but we're going to dive in and check them out. So, that said, let's start with the big one, which is the Shadow Collective. Now, if you're watching at home, you can see that this is the big old box of the Pike Syndicate, the Black Sun, and the Shadow Collective. These are 3 distinct factions, all led by Darth Maul, to form what I'm assuming is the Shadow Collective, which is the starter box here. So if you are playing Star Wars Legion and you want to jump into this new faction, essentially, here you go. This one's for you. All right, let's bust this open. So it's a top-loaded thing here. So I'm just gonna start pulling contents out and see what we get here. All right, we've got cards, we've got bases, we've got a whole bunch of sprue. We've also got, read this first, which is very important, and we've got tokens. You need your tokens. We've also got a cardboard shell thing, which I'm not going to pull out because that's weird. First up, tokens. You can see them all here. These are going to be useful for playing this faction. I don't know what they all mean, but there you go. There's some new stuff going on here. We've got to read this first page, which I'm not going to, but if you have a QR code reader, I'll hold that still for you at home, and you can check that out. And then here's a nice little, yay, art. Frame that, put it up on your wall. Shadow Collective starter set. We've got the miniatures all on sprue. I'll get to this in a second, actually. And then bases. I'm assuming this is all the bases you'll need that belong to the Shadow Collective. And then cards. I'm going to go through the cards real quick. We're not going to do a card-by-card thing, but I do want to see what all is in here. So we've got upgrade cards, and we've got unit cards as well as ploys. These are all new stuff for the Shadow Collective. And then we've got the unit cards, which is super exciting. We've got Maul. And if you don't know, Shadow Collective is run by Maul. He's dropped the Darth these days. He's got 2 different options. You can either use him with the double-bladed lightsaber or the dark saber, depending on the build option there. So these are front and back. And then Mandalorian Super Commandos, Black Sun Enforcers, Black Sun Vigo, Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers, and a Pike Syndicate Capo as well. Yeah, and if you haven't figured it out by now, these are the criminals of Star Wars. They've banded together or been subjugated by Maul, however you want to look at it, and they form their own new thing. So these are all upgrade cards that you'll get for the various unit options in here. Again, not going to go through all these, but you get the idea. The Darksaber, boom. Maul only, 6 black die. That sounds nasty. Sidearm melee ranged, impact 2, pierce 2, cost 10 points for an upgrade, totally worth it. There's some force powers, probably for Maul, but I guess. And you get the idea. Now we get to the miniatures. Obviously, I have not built these because we just pulled them out of the box. But they're all on sprue now, which is kind of neat. This is hard plastic. Well, these are this is obviously for your commandos to make them look like they're flying around. We've got hard plastic on sprue. This is a new development for me. So I'm going to just set this to the side. Matter of fact, I'm going to pause real quick. All right, back. I've got the black sheet down for you, so you can hopefully see these sprues a little bit better here for you. Here's the first sprue. I'm going to guess what's on here. I think we have Maul, because I can see the Darksaber. I can see his double lightsaber here, his torso, and things like that. And it looks like we also have a couple of different heads, and I think that's for the commandos, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the first sprue. This sprue, I'm going to kind of guess on this one as well. Syndicate dudes. I think these are Pike Syndicates, based on their weapons and their arms and whatnot. Yeah, okay. I actually like the detail on these weapons. They're pretty neat, fairly intricate, especially like the butt of the rifles. Pretty cool looking. We've got... I believe, more Pike Syndicate. There's the whip. You can kind of see there. That model is shown off on the back of the box. Cool. Man, some of these bits are very thin. Like some of the weapon barrels are pretty thin. So if you're assembling these, be careful with those. Get some good hobby snips. Here we have Black Sun Syndicate members. Or I don't know if they're syndicates or not. It's the Black Sun. Criminal organization, I believe. So yeah, we've got the double blasters for them. They're cool, fancy robes. They're very fancy dudes. And more of the Black Sun. So again, cool looking robes. There's a lot of detail going on in there as well. So they have like little triangles or squares or something. That's great for like hitting that with some kind of wash or a shade or something like that to soak in all those crevices. And then I'm assuming we've got the Mandalorians here, the Shadow Collective. More blasters, more Mandalorian style armor. Very cool. Jetpacks as well. And the other sprue. I don't know if these sprues are the same. These two look like they're the same sprue. Yeah. So those two sprues are the exact same. But yeah, there's all your Mandalorians floating around with their jetpacks and their blasters. So in total, we've got the Mandalorian sprue, we've got 2 Shadow Sun sprue, or Black Sun sprues, excuse me, and then 2 of the Pike Syndicate sprues. So 6 sprues there, and then Maul, and I believe we've got some various commander heads for the 3 different factions in there as well. So those are all of your sprues in the box. Next up is the Mandalorian Super Commandos box. I have a funny feeling that this box is going to have a lot of the same stuff we saw out of the Shadow Collective starter box. If I had to guess, that's everything in the box. We've got the little cardboard shell, which nobody cares. Read Me First. Again, these miniatures should look real similar to the ones that we just unboxed. So, and it's got a nice piece of art on the back. So if you want to hang that up, frame it up, do your thing. Here. If you have the QR code reader, I'm going to hold that still for you. There you go. You can pause your screen too. I don't know. Whatever. We've got tokens and cards in here as well, which I'll show these off very quickly. So, more tokens for your Mandalorians, or Shadow Collective, I guess. I don't actually know if they're wearing Mandalorian armor, so I keep calling them that. So, Mandalorian Outcast, maybe? Yeah. Mandalorian Super Commando card. There's their ploy cards, their command cards for those. And then we've got Super Commando Gunslinger, the Marksman, your squad upgrades, weapon upgrades, all that fun stuff. Also included. And then bases for the squad. And like I thought, these sprues are going to look very similar to the previous ones. Matter of fact, you could say they're the same sprues. Because they are. These 2 sprues anyway are the same. And I believe they are the exact same sprue we saw earlier. So, there you go. That's everything in the Mandalorian Super Commando box. Alright, last but not least, we have the Swoop Bike Riders box. I'm very curious about these now that I know that everything else came on plastic sprues. So, I'm wondering how this has been packaged up. We've got the, read this first. There's your, there you go, if you want the QR code. Popping that off. You get to make 2 different Swoop Bike Riders. There's the cool Swoop Bike Riders art, if you want to frame that up. It's pretty cool looking. Alright. Now then, what's in the box? Oh, hang on. We've got the 2 bases with 2 stands, if you want. These are vehicle bases. They're slightly different than the typical trooper bases, obviously, and they have little plastic stands that would go bloop, just kind of glue them on there like so. You can see that it's divided up based on the sides and front and rear arcs and all that fun stuff. So need those for vehicles. Card is in here as well. So more tokens. You need your tokens, your aims, your pins, and all that fun stuff. Suppression tokens. Swoop Black Riders card. Pretty cool looking. They're fast. 70 points a pop. Overrun 1. Cool. Alright. Fast moving unit. Need those bad boys. And then what you've been waiting for, the actual sprues. Again, I'm a little surprised that this stuff is all on plastic sprues now, which is kind of a cool change in my opinion. Very cool looking bike. Lots of detail going on there. And same with the riders. You can see their blasters, their pikes, all that fun stuff. You've got. It looks like you've got a couple of different variants depending on how you want to equip your riders with blasters and pikes and everything like that. This looks like a lot of fun to put together too. Very accurate looking. And then there's a flip side. Everything should go together pretty easily following the instructions. And if you've noticed, none of these packages have instructions on how to build everything. That's actually what the QR code is for, to help you like build stuff. So pull it up. You can go to Atomic Masses Games website and check that out for build instructions for all this stuff. So cool. Well, those were the new Shadow Collective starter kit, starter box, and then the Mandalorian Super Commandos and the new Swoop Bike Riders. Pretty cool kits overall. Again, kind of a change from some of the previous kits that used to be like pre-cut plastic lock and key style. These were all new style plastic on sprues, ready to go. Pretty nice for any hobbyist out there that are looking for something a little bit crisper on the details and a little bit easier to work with. More options for you to customize things, in my opinion. So very cool change all around. And again, brand new faction for Star Wars Legion. So go check these out. I'm Adam here for Bulls. That was it.